Yo, 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 what is up, Sigmas? So, right now, my Blitz rating, we are not going to talk about it. So, I'll make sure to update in the next episode of this. But yeah, we made it. It is episode 2, officially, of the rapid speed run. I don't know what we're going to. I guess I'm going to say 2200. If you guys want to see more, then by all means. So, okay, we have the black pieces. Now, I know that as white, we're going to be playing c4. So, I don't know what to teach. So I guess we'll go with the good old fashioned the Sicilian. I will see what knowledge I can impart. Okay, D3. This move's kind of mysterious. I'm not really sure what our opponent here is doing. So generally, when you see something weird that you haven't seen before, you kind of treat it like a new position. So instead of me going, okay, in my main Sicilian, I know that I go E6 because if they play knight F3, then I go E6. Then that's not going to be very good here because it's a new position. So I won't think for too long. We'll just do this. Okay, so he goes C3 now. So now he's kind of like an elephant, but he's looking to push. So now I can either go E5 to just fully control the square, which I'm kind of leaning towards, but then E5, knight F3. And then it's like a sort of Italian, but I have C5. So we could do that, or I could just go G6. I think we'll go E5. We'll go for this sort of like, I'm not gonna say like Maroxy bind structure. What? What is this dude cooking? Okay. Well, my instinct says break in the center, and then activate my pieces, my queen, because she cannot be attacked. Because usually in these Maroxy bind structures, you have, dude, it's only pawn moves. Okay, so if you ever see your opponent like doing something that is only pawn moves, it's dumb. It's not gonna be good. Also, yeah, we're not gonna talk about the giant ass fucking blotch on my face. Okay, so here he has presented us with a decision. Okay, the mastermind behind Rone Sergio. He's like throwing the ball back in our court. This is just like 4,000 elo chess right here. This is the stuff you see on Lichess, dude. Like, oh my god. So we can either take and trade queens, which is probably what I'm going to do, or here I could maybe just like develop or go h4, but I'm just gonna trade queens, ideally. Because now he loses castling rights, and I see that Bishop's most natural square is probably going to be here, but maybe there's something better that I can do with my time. I'm thinking knight f6 to attack the pawn, but then he goes here, and then my knight feels kind of stupid. So I just need to figure out how to get this bishop out. Maybe this is just my plan. I'm going to go boom, 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 like boom, 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 and then put a bishop here. Just try and get a nice like clamp on the queen side here. If he ever goes knight f3, that'd be kind of weird, because then I can go here and pin, long castle. We're chilling. Yep. F3, dude. Look at this. This can't be right. If you ever see someone doing this, where they aren't following the principles, they aren't developing, they aren't controlling the center, like it's got to be weird. So can we punish it? Let's just develop our bishop. Maybe I'm even threatening go here, but more specifically, I kind of just want a long castle. I have no idea what I'm going to do with the king side, frankly. What? But now his bishop is really shitty. And now I have this square forever. This is horrible positionally because, I mean, look at this. Yet again, we get this beautiful knight. This is what we call an outpost. So an outpost is a piece, usually a knight, that is, it's covered by pawns, it's clamped, and it cannot be attacked by any pawns. So now the king is over there. The king has made its way to c3 somehow. And I'm already thinking about how to checkmate. So let's go for it. If you ever want to checkmate, just throw stuff in their direction. This is the threat. If he lets me play b5, he's fucked. b4. I don't know why I said b5 there. It's already over, dude. I'm gonna do 2 games in this episode because this is going by so quick. This dude just getting cooked. So it's your special day. About 4 people get to watch me play chess for about 20 more minutes. I'll try and analyze this game as much as I can, but I really don't know what I'm gonna be able to make out of this. And now I just can pretty much pre-move knight b3. Okay, so here's what we did. As you can see, this past couple moves. Actually, I'll explain after the game. Let's just beat this kid as quick as possible. I don't really want to be facing him right now. So yeah. So let's just get this over with. Maybe win the rook. I wish there was a checkmate, but there isn't. Alright guys, I mean these are your 1400s on Lichess, dude. They're powerful. He understands something I don't. That like theoretically this position is it's a forced win for white, you know. Unfortunately I'm not 4000 elo quite yet. So I don't get it. I mean, when you're up this much material, I shouldn't really need to explain what I'm doing here. I'm kind of just... Yeah, actually, no, I will explain. I will explain. Remember, if you watched yesterday, what's the rule when we're up material? Spamming the emote. Okay, if you were yesterday, when we are up material, we trade. That's how you win. If you are ever like up pieces, pawns, whatever, generally, unless it's like a gambit or unless there's a lot going on, generally your game plan is just trade. Trade, be active. I mean, this game, it's over. What? I mean, it was trapped, but like... Still playing. Oh, and people on Lichess, they don't resign. People on chess.com, they have some decency. So we're gonna normally I'd checkmate this dude with all knights, but in the spirit of me wanting to play multiple games, I would rather, you know, it's checkmate now. Actually, I can probably pre-move it. Well, okay. If the knight blocks, then I can pre-move. Yeah. But anyways, I would normally like promote all of my pawns, and then just checkmate him with a bunch of knights. But you know, just gotta play 2 games. Gotta play an English game. So let's see, what was accuracy? 97. Yesterday was 96, today was 97. Sounds impressive, but in reality they're just kind of blundering a piece, and I'm not making any mistakes. And d5 makes a lot of sense. Yeah, that was a really bad move. And then let's see. Man, I don't know what to comment on here, but that's a big win. So let's go again. Oh, we get the white pieces. All right, so today we are going to be learning the English, indeed. So against e6, I'll give you my recommendation. My recommendation is going to be knight c3. And to understand what I'm doing, you kind of got to understand why we play c4 instead of d4. So you see, when we're playing d4, we have already like committed this pawn, and they can like go d5. Okay, they can go d5. There's a bunch of setups. They can go for Grunfelds, King's Indians, Nimzos, whatever. But with c4, because we choose to not commit the d4 pawn, there can also never be anything like this. So I can go d4 right now, going to a Nimzo, but we're here to teach the English, which means that we refrain from playing d4 because we're trying to go for something different. I'm not trying to transpose into to like a good d4 opening, because that's what a lot of like d4 players will do, is that they'll play the English or knight f3, then they'll just pick and choose when to go into d4 or stay with c4. So yeah, so I suggest this move e4. It's super nice. It's tricky, and it kind of just obliterates people. And their best move is to play d5, um, in which there's a lot of theory that I'll teach after the game. But this move, especially up against like lower rated people, it can definitely kind of like discourage them because they see this, they see all these pieces, and they're like, oh, well now he's stopping d5. Like I shouldn't do this. I mean, I'm not, but to a weaker player, it can seem like that. So sometimes they'll even just go for a bad structure. Then we're fine. So yeah. So the English, and what's nice too is that if he ever goes bishop b4, again, because we never committed the d pawn, we have a bunch of other options. And the bishop, yeah, exactly. So now he thinks for a minute there and then does this. This is already going to be quite nice. So now we're going to develop. And now the fun part is that when I push my d pawn, we're still in an English because he pushed c5 now. Because you don't, in the opening, you don't go like d4 and then c5 normally. But now that we have, c4, c5 done, this is like just something else. It's in English. I hope this makes sense. It makes sense to me. Should we turn on light in the background? Hold on. There we go. Where did I put my remote? Yeah, we got the, you guys want to see something kind of cool? Oh yeah, you know it. We're gonna turn that off, but that's just like the random segment for the people who are watching. But okay, anyways, pretty much. Can you turn up? Thank you. What we got here is the Maroczy bind, which is this e4 c4 structure against usually against the Sicilian, but it is just kind of like a bind. And pretty much our goal is to put all of our pawns on light squares and then control. So he played d6 here, which is the Schwenningen structure. I played bishop b4. In fact, I played this against Troy in the video where I beat a national master to become the state champion. So I have very fond memories of this opening on the black side. But on the white side, yeah, it's fun. It's nice. So he goes d6, a very standard move. Here I have a lot of options. I mean, obviously I can take here. That's one of the lines. Go bishop e2. I think here we're probably just gonna go bishop e2. Gonna stick with the schema development, which is in the Maroczy bind. e4 c4. We go bishop c2, bishop b3, f3, queen d2, castle sway h3, f4, and then sometimes f5. Simple enough. But you see, that's like what it takes to be this level of like a chess player, like 2400 online, which is so far away from 2400 over the board, which is crazy. Yeah, that makes sense. But anyways, is that, with all these openings and structures, I just know how to play them. It's like even if I've never seen something in my life, I have such a big like database in my head of like patterns and pawn structures and plans and all this stuff that I can kind of just pull from and then use to make better moves. So that's improving. It's improving at chess. But anyways, white is always going to be slightly better in these structures just because like this really nice space that we have. The bishop's kind of shitty, and in some positions this pawn can become a weakness, which we can then target. But I mean, we're only on move 9. We're still developing into the main Maroczy structure, so it's kind of far from, anything interesting yet. And please do understand, I am not an expert in the Maroczy bind. This is a structure that I am far from perfect in, but I know a thing or two. So right now, the point of why we are playing This structure is pretty much because it makes Black really uncomfortable. It makes him really cramped. From Black's perspective, he doesn't really have a good plan or a way of playing, just simply because of how much space I have. He has a bunch of these pieces that just don't have space to room. Well, space to room? What the fuck? Space to move. Holy airball. Jesus Christ, dude. He's already at 5 minutes after move 9. We got a thinker here, dude. We got a real calculator. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Me too, buddy. Except I do it at the right moments. Um, and most of my time spent is just yapping. But anyways, we play it because it makes Black very uncomfortable. So Black is, kind of like unsure of what to do. A6, he's never really going to go B5, so I don't know what this move does. Maybe he just wants to stop this. So, here's where it is the big decision. Do I play F4 or F3? I think both are very reasonable here, but I'll go fast forward a little bit. I'm just gonna think about this for a little short. That works. Oh, that hurt. That hurt. Dude, you wanna know how I'm able to do that? My Lord and Savior, Jakob Agard. We got two of his books right here, and he has another one on calculation. It's dope, dude. It's dope. But I'm reading the ones on a positional and strategic chess. I mean, F4, I probably should have just played that really quick, but I kind of just wanted to, actually get to use my brain a little bit. Even if it was just pointless there, I kind of wanted to just see what I could see. And that wasn't even that critical of a line. That was just us doing our plans. Like, that wasn't anything forced. I need like 20 minutes for that. Especially when it's just kind of useless, because, I know it's F3 or F4, F3, yeah, this is the critical line. So my intuition says take on C6. My intuition says knight C6, B C6, and then either push. Meh, doesn't really feel like I need to start targeting this weakness. So maybe I can even do like something like this. Kind of fuck with that move, honestly. Kind of like it. It gives me good control. And please do comment what openings you want to see next. That would be very cool. My watch right now, oh shit, my phone. It's Dwayne. Wait, it's no longer Dwayne the Rock Johnson. It's now. Yeah, if you can see that, it's kind of weird. Oh, we got the thinker over here, dude. It's move 11. It's move 11. This dude is about to turn to like Magnus Carlsen with 2 minutes on his clock. I'm not super unhappy with my time usage personally. Like I've clearly I've found a solid way forward. It's pretty promising, I think, with this weakness and the fact that I have the bishop pair and his bishop's really shitty and I have all this. I'm about to have this. Yeah, I'm better. I don't know about how much though, but it's not close right now. He, I guess he does have 95 at some moments, but okay, feels kind of out of like a little bit out of desperation there. And now he doesn't take, so I guess I just go here. If he was gonna go and take my B pawn here, I was fine to actually just do this. Just go knight d5. Kind of cooking here, Loki. I'm feeling the groove. These people are also significantly weaker, so it's kind of like I'm just beating up like a child. But you know, uh, still it's good to be playing pretty well. So what I'm doing is I'm trading this because I see the value of my queen on the d5 square. Okay, so now this potentially sets up discoveries, and now we're going to start putting the pressure on the clock. Where I just really want to go here, but he's just always going to take it. So somehow I need to find a way to just get this knight to move. Good thing I have a lot of time. I wonder. I have a kind of interesting idea in mind. I wonder if if I can go bishop h5. Put pressure on this pawn. I threaten to go here. I mean, I guess he can always move back, but then at least I can move onto the file. No, I don't see anything better. Besides, it also opens up my rook to potentially hit the square. I'm just now realizing that after he goes g6. Now I feel like I take, force to take with the bishop. And then I can maybe even sack this. But that might be a bit too crazy. But takes, he has forced to take the bishop because takes with the rook, I take here. Takes with the pawn, I take here. So we found a forcing move. And then, we'll wait. I have no need. Oh, well now. Sorry, just calculating. Takes, well, I'll let you into the mind of what I'm thinking. Here, then I'm first calculating this, and I see boom, boom, intermezzo, and I'm chilling there. Looks like it. I see here, here. This doesn't work because the bishop defends. So I can take, and then I'm hitting this pawn. But at the same time, the board isn't. Actually, wait, no. But then I go. Yeah, I mean, it's the right move. I'd just rather see it all beforehand. Okay, so now. Ooh, wait, there's a slight problem. If I go take here, he doesn't actually have to take with the rook. You can always just move, and then I'm just worse. So that's clearly not going to be it. So I guess let's go here. This seems winning. GG's. Alright, nice. Might not have been the cleanest, but that was definitely it's definitely a solid game. Like I don't think I was in any significant danger at any point. So no, I just got that alert for low time, but I mean barely so. I don't care about the bishop. Okay, nice. Whew, okay, actually kind of a fun game. I enjoyed myself there. I'll say that. How did we play? First game was 97. This game, let me guess, it is not, yeah, 82. Not a 97 game. He fought. He fought a bit. So, let's yap. E6. Now, this is obviously an invitation to potentially go into Queen's Gambit declined positions, in which I generally here recommend E3, but I'll teach that whenever we get to it. So, in this game, E4, the critical line is pawn to D5. So in the move that this is the move that I play, but it's way really complicated. You need to know like 20 moves, like critical theory. So I'll suggest E5. They're probably going to push. And then you get this little thing, take, and then it is easy. You just go D5. Let's say like they go here, you develop, you go boom, boom. Nice little center. You have this nice little center mass, you're chilling. That's pretty much about as good as it gets. In fact, there are some interesting things, which is that, like, if they are to go here, for instance, knight f3 is actually just like better because h6 and then the bishop can just get attacked. But knight f3 more specifically, just because of this threat of bishop g5, where now if they castle, knight f3 is just brutal because of this, and then for whatever reasons. So sometimes knight f3 and bishop g5 can actually be really deadly. But h6, that's why they usually throw it in. Yeah, we'll turn off the eval. So that we can just teach, and we'll turn off this so that I can be the one teaching, not the engines and the databases, just me yapping. Now 6, e4, c5 is interesting. Let's think of some other things. Here. They can also move, in which then you just want to push d4. You get a really nice center. I mean, if they take, they go here. This is probably the best way to equalize as black. Maybe it doesn't fully equalize, but it's definitely a really nice try. So maybe taking is slightly better. Yeah, maybe. Regardless, we'll move along to this position. So he played d6, which is pretty reasonable. I'm curious to actually see how I played it. I'll turn the engine back on just to see how I played in the opening. Yeah, bishop e2, that was right. So generally the move they're going to play is here, bishop g5, and so you pretty much you just take here. Okay, now I'll turn it off. I just need to see bishop e2. They're going to take with a b pawn. I mean, obviously they can trade queens, and then you get this endgame, and now they're hitting this pawn. But meh. I mean, it should just be equal. Should be able to have a game there. So they'll take with this pawn. Now e5, it's very important, which is before they can go there. Although wait, no, bishop d3. No, bishop d3 first. And how does it go? Yeah, and then it's e5. Then it's e5. Oof. God, I don't know why. I'm blanking. And then it's usually d6, c5. You take here. Then you go bishop d7, bishop c6, you castle, and you put a queen here, and then you're fine as black. That's what I do. That's how I'd win games. But yeah, then you're just going to go and, go with the general scheme of development. You get a game. Your plan is likely going to be f4 at some point, but maybe it would be smart to stop the bishop from doubling your pawns. You should understand that black is most likely just going to close the center, and then play down here. You'll get the bishop pair. So in the long term, open up the position, and you'll be cooking. So yeah. Let's go look in the game, see if there's anything else of note. We'll try the engine just for analyzing. Yeah, f4, that was okay. And then, yeah. This wasn't the best. So what? Oh, I had to take the. Okay, so maybe, yeah, knight f. I maybe should just play in the spirit of the opening and then played f5. Yeah, no, I'd mentioned this. I was looking at this. Huh. Guess it's a note to self. Then what? Here to go bishop a6. One, and then your king gets here, and his king, yeah, gets cut off. Okay, interesting. All right.